clerics could actually read and write. So
I shall.
So the daily records or what sermons, etc. They gave you a historical context.
Again, if you're having difficulty with the font, there's the whoops. If you're having difficulty with the font, there's an easier translated version. But anyway, meantime, right now the internet's back. Meantime, we'll head over to. Hang on a second. Yes.
That's still scary enough, isn't it?
So I'm just sorry. I know there's something else I'm looking for and I can't find it. Yeah, that medieval text. Sorry, you find that in a loose behind. You notice a loose stone in the wall, and hidden behind it, you find that medieval text. Anyway, we're heading over to the Skip family residence. It's a large red wooden house with 2 stories and an inclined roof, handed down over generations, renovated time and time again. It's large and spacious. Wilhelmina says it's a bit too large for her and her mother, but they're only occupants since her mother became a widow. She does. Oh yeah, I do want to have. She does tell you what happened to her dad, if I can remember. It is her father, Anton, died from an infection when she was very young, and her mother's always taken good care of her without being overprotective. Wilhelma says she's always been inquisitive, and her mother's always encouraged her daughter to follow her curiosity. And she very much in love with likes nature and everything else. So that brings you into the property. When you're greeted by Dorothea, she smiles and welcomes you. She says, "I wondered how long it would take you to show up at her property before." She offers you coffee and sandwiches with whey butter.
Dorothea, this isn't a good time for. I wish I could have coffee and sandwiches. There's a big fight going on, and I need you to help me with the villagers. They want to attack my party.
She goes, what is going on? What's Marta doing now? And she basically nods and basically joins the combat tracker because it's getting nice and crowded, and is most certainly not hostile. And joins the map and basically tells her daughter to stay there. You get the distinct impression that she already knows her daughter won't, and then the 3 of you will be able to head back. Okay. In the meantime, Dorothea's finished patching up the guy. What is Blender and Victor up to?
I'm staying with the priest.
Okay. He does recover, and he does obviously recover from the stun, and basically says it looks a bit chagrined, and says, I genuinely do not know anything about that note. I just don't know. I thought you were just. I don't know what's going on, but this is just not. This is not how the world should be.
Do I believe him? Does he seem genuine? I guess.
Well, to your opinion, he seems genuine. I suppose you do possibly have. I suppose if you really want to, being a man of the cloth and him being a man of the cloth, there is probably one way you can find out if you trust him or not. You can make him swear
on the Bible.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'll do. I'll pull it out.
Without hesitation, he puts his hand on it and swears in front of you and Almighty God that he knows nothing about that note and never seen it before until it was shown to him. And the implication that something that is supposed to protect the church attacked and killed someone, he finds absolutely horrifying, and basically feared that you were here to continue the plans to demolish the church.
Who told you that they were here to demolish the church? And
Hammerstrom.
did you pray?
Hammerstrom did. He said they
All
needed.
right.
They needed the due to the location of the iron ore, the church would have to be demolished to make way for the mine.
And did you relay this information to the Guardian?
I have nothing to do with the Guardian, as I say. It predates me, and I have no means to communicate with it. I've never actually even seen it. I just know the legends and the rumours that it exists in the church. I may have swept up very large footprints in the graveyard from time to time, but I thought that was possibly just the children are playing pranks.
Well, clearly this Guardian, I say clearly, almost assuredly this Guardian killed the Haverstrom. And if you were telling everyone in the village that the church was to be destroyed, you're likely culpable.
Move it on to dusk just because the day's moving on, and events. Obviously, investigation stuff does take time. Finding everything, and also have some more fun. So you basically you're going to get everyone all together, and we'll get everyone back together.
Okay.
Well, I'm just moving everyone over. So Johan gets everyone back together, and obviously there's not much discussion going on and tending to people's injuries and everything else. And you can all decide what you're doing next. Anders is making notes in his notebooks. He takes everything back he found on the way out. He usually... Okay, that's absolutely fine.
I'm going to say to the group... Dorothea told me that she was expecting us and was surprised it took us that long to come to her. I think she has information she wants and needs to share with us.
In fact, at this point, yes, Dorothea goes, you're more than welcome to all come back to my house, and I shall provide sustenance for all of you. And she looks at Ingar and says, including you.
Sure. Let's do that, and I'll help you more along.
I do love
Was there any discussion of an iron?
Well, indeed, I shall come on to that. Okay, you basically all head. I take it right. Well, it's up to you when you want to leave the pub.
Rut will make sure that. Rut will make sure that whomever he punched out has credit for a couple of drinks, and then I will go ahead and proceed out here with everybody else.
That's fine. I'm just tidying up stuff behind, and then I'll accept your move. Okay. So yes, let's see what we.
Yeah. So I'm asking because this is the first. Me as the player, this is the first I recall mentioning of an Iron Man.
Well, indeed.
Nobody mentioned it before, right?
Nobody mentioned it before, that's correct.
Not that I recall, no.
Okay.
You all get to the house. Can I have notice checks, please, as you sort of settle down for some food? I won't worry too much if you miss. I'm sure someone will succeed. And it is a long way away.
Rut's obviously had a couple.
Obviously. Okay, Rut's obviously had a couple, but everyone else notices as you sort of all settle down. As you all settle down to talk to Dorothea, you'll hear the church bell. There's a single toll.
Oh, shit. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not very Victor-like.
Wilhelma laughs.
Yeah, don't ask for whom the bell tolls.
And is it midnight?
No, I think it doesn't have to be at midnight. I think it can happen at any time, but it means.
Okay.
But it's basically it can happen at any time, but it's obviously just means someone is dying that night, as it were. Midnight's just is the legend, so you're surprised it happened this early, but the bell tolls. Anyway, you are at the Sky residence. Okay, where are we? Yep, the resident, she offers you, what did I say she offers you? She offers you coffee, sandwiches with whey butter, and simple homemade cookies. It's interesting, actually, given how rich you gather they are, they seem to be leading a very simple life. There's no servants. It appears that Dorothea and her daughter handle all the duties of the house themselves. But anyway, over to you guys.
Dorothea, not to rush things, but as you heard that bell rung, and as we know, it signifies death's on the way. Please, tell us what you need to tell us.
I suppose. What do you need to know? I don't know what exactly is going on and what is important.
Well,
Let me
two of
see.
our men came here, and the last people they talked to was you before you brought them over to the church, and now one's dead and the other's insane. Now, I'm not blaming you, I'm not blaming the priest. I'm just wondering what you think was going on.
Well, I mean, Hammerstrand, she met with me several times, and obviously, as I own more forest than anyone else in the village, and he wanted me to sell it. So the visits were to negotiate the deal that would satisfy me. I was very happy to sell up, and was basically that's what the deals were. I was just obviously trying to get the best price for obviously without the steady income. I needed to get a price because, as I say, I was tired of the isolation and the limitations of this village, and my daughter deserves to see the world, and keeping her here already is difficult enough. Her daughter smirks at this.
Can I show them my notebook? Because it proves that there's nothing to do with the priest.
Of course you can.
And share all the documentation found in the church.
That was the priest's notes, wasn't it?
The priest's notes.
That was 2F.
So Mrs. Carlstrom came for coffee, and she wanted to dig into what Mr. Hamilton's business dealings were, about why you want to buy the land, etc. And the following day, he received a note that was signed by the priest, but the handwriting's wrong because the handwriting's not the same. It's in the church book. It wasn't written by the priest. The letter was a forgery, and they lured the poor fellow into church. He obviously triggered the Grim, that she then subsequently killed him. But the person that was snooping around trying to find out what was going on was Mrs. Carlstrom.
That's the lady we stayed with last night, correct?
Yeah, Marta.
Yeah. I turn to Ingmar and I say, who first mentioned the fact that there would be a mine involved in this sale?
Okay, sorry, let me. Where is it? No, this is the bit I couldn't remember earlier. I was just on land. Christmas deal.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I know who it is. But
Christmas about a deal. Oh, Martyrs. Oh, for crying out loud! My graphics. What is going on with my graphics card?
And while we're waiting, so
Sorry,
in
my
the
graphics card up,
bricked up behind parchment, and it appears to have a cup on it.
Upon mentioning the
Or
medieval
permission.
parchment, Dorothea.
Scribes had to summon the Grim.
Stick. Sorry, my graphics card suddenly decided it wanted to update, do something. It's basically launched Windows Media, and then all my resolution. Then my resolution's back because basically my mouse was 5 pixels above where I was trying to click. Right, sorry. Please continue.
I don't think it's I don't think it's a summon spell. I think more of it's a warning.
Okay,
You
so
hear a
Christian's
sound
about
of
to
flaming
deal.
birds snapping branches.
Yeah. Dorothea explains the whole deal came to a halt as soon as Hammerstone could get because Martha would not sell her sawmill, which he wanted to sort out before making the deal with myself. You mentioned the.
But who mentioned the iron mine?
Can I have observation notice checks, please?
Sure. You may not have successful ones, but you can have us roll.
Dorothea is obviously too busy enjoying the homemade cookies. My word, those are some amazing notice rolls coming out there. Okay.
Dorothea's keeping an eye on Ingvar. She's concerned that he might have taken too heavy a blow to his head.
That sounds very reasonable. Okay. Looking at that, we're looking at Johan and Anders and Rut all got their raises. So you get the impression that Dorothea was not really being completely saying everything about why she wants to leave. Also, at the mention of the iron mine, again, you notice there seems to be some sort of reaction that she desperately tries to sort of conceal, but that you do pick up on it.
Right, so I turn to Ingvar again and I say, who first mentioned the iron mine to you specifically?
Oh, that would be the Hammerstrom.
And then I watch.
He said something about an iron mine, and obviously no.
Hammerstrom did.
He explained that basically they'd yes, and I said I wouldn't, I wouldn't allow it, but I suppose if I can see that if enough of the villagers sold up, then I wouldn't have any choice in them saying. I mean, Hammerstrom promised that they'd build a new church at a different location, a bigger, newer church, but that's not the point, is it? This is the village church, but if enough of the villagers wanted to take the deal, then I suppose I wouldn't be able to sway them, and the church would be lost.
All right. So at this point, I'm not going to eat any or drink any.
Okay.
I'm just going to push the boot around the plate. And then I'm going to turn to Dorothea and say, why on earth would Hammerstrom have the idea that there would be an iron mine built here?
How persuasive are you on that question, or intimidating?
Let's see. There we go.
Oh, you're very persuasive. She reacts. She reacts to this, and finally says, "Oh, okay, yes. Where is it? I've lost it. I had it just now. Yes, it was me who told Hammerstrom about the iron deposit underneath the church. That compelled Hammerstrom to do everything he could to secure the deal. I wanted to get myself and my daughter away."
Well, you may have ruined it.
Yes. Can yeah. Sorry.
And for my thinking right now is that telling Havisham that, he relayed that to Ingmar, and Ingmar fears that the church would be destroyed, was relayed to the church grim, which killed Havisham.
No, I don't think it was the priest at all. I think it was
no. He was set up for the letter that he sent was a forgery.
I don't disagree that he was set up. I just think that he was given false information because they knew that would activate
it wasn't the priest. It was Karlstrom. It was the lady that we've been staying with.
I'm not sure it's Karlstrom.
Because it is, because that in the diary, in the priest's diary, when she came around for coffee, and he wrote in his diary that day that he thought she was very sweet, but then she started to ask questions about Mr. Hammerstone, the man with the large sawmill. She wanted information on the business deal she was trying to negotiate, and there was something unsettling in the tone of her voice. I saw temptation in her eyes, temptation suggesting that she was not a God-fearing woman. Perhaps she will tempt others to sell the land. I think she got greedy. people didn't want to agree to sell the land. She forged
Well,
a
it
letter.
sounds like Marta and Dorita, if I'm pronouncing that right, they both want to sell the land. Who was the holdout? Just the priest?
Marta wants to keep control of the village. She wants to be the most important person in the village. And so she is trying to make sure that this deal, that she gets the best possible deal. And our guy was offering a better deal to to our hostess now because she had access to the iron.
Well, I'm going to actually, this is addressed to Dorothea again. Where did you get the impression that there was iron deposits underneath the church?
It was a straight up lie. It was an effort to get more money for her land.
I'm asking our host.
I've rearranged my computer layout, and I've just realised if I walk out of the room, I can't with my wireless headset on. I don't hear what you're saying anymore. I just found out they're hardware. So before I could sneak off and listen, still hit. As long as I stayed on the same floor, I could hear stuff. But obviously, I'm gonna have to work out what I've done differently. Anyway, so I missed that. Last thing I heard was the Marta thing. So if you ask me any questions, you'll have to ask again. But if you would,
we've been discussing amongst ourselves.
That's absolutely fine. I'll have to watch. I'll have to look at.
But I did have
21 minutes. I'm going to have to.
I'm
I'm going to watch the stream to see what you said later.
They're doing the whole who done it thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing. Yeah, we're at the gather everybody in the parlor stage.
Yeah.
I'm asking our hostess directly to say, who gave you the impression that there was iron underneath the church?
Before Dorothea can answer, Wilhelma basically walks back into the room. Her face is completely pale, all colours drained out of it, and she's basically looking at the thing. She's holding some items, and she's just going, "Mother, what have you done?"
Told ya.
What are the items?
Dorothea looks up and suddenly. Dorothea looks at what her daughter's holding and suddenly looks terrified and says, "You'd better leave."
You really don't want to leave this village, do you?
Okay, so
you want to keep your daughter here.
Where are we? So Wilhelma walks towards her mother. She is holding an amulet in the form of a pentagram, an ornate black robe. There appears to be some sort of medieval style, aged parchment as well, and an ornate dagger.
You had no plans.
Would an occult roll give us a clue as to what these things mean?
Yeah.
By
You've
all
been
means.
lying to your daughter.
I don't really think you need to understand what you're meddling with.
Dorothea looks at the items, looks at her daughter, looks at all of you and goes, "You're all in danger. You've seen too much now.
How?
You'd better leave." She looks genuinely scared. Occult. Oh, Victor with a 22. It's definitely a very ritualistic knife, and a pentagram is obviously some sort of pagan ritual.
Can I just ask one question here, just mechanics? How do I use one of my adventure cards? It allows me to gain a skill at a D6 for the.
You just drag it. You just drag the card and drop it in the chat. Simple as that.
Okay.
Epiphany.
Okay, and I'll use that to create the occult skill.
I like it. Okay. Nice use of a card. Okay.
Can I play a card? Can I play a card here?
You don't forget, players can play cards at any time.
You can drop it at any time.
Okay. Righty ho. All the player's card provides on how to resolve a current predicament or problem or find all the clues of evidence in a particular scene. Right. All the clues or evidence in a particular scene. What are you after? Okay, first things first, on the pentagram is written Liberarium Fideus. I think that's how you pronounce it. I never did Latin at school. Which I do believe I have a translation
What?
for some.
Eat freely?
Live freely. I believe it's
Eat
live
freely.
freely. Or it might
Yes,
be eat and live freely. I can't remember.
Eat free. It's,
I know it's in here somewhere, but I can't find it now. But anyway, I remember seeing it earlier because I was thinking, I hope they tell me what that means later, but I couldn't find it. Oh, I learned it as the League of the Free, apparently. Apparently it's the League of the Free. Not eat freely. Okay. Secondly, you find the scroll appears to be another piece of medieval text. There's obviously the original and the translation. East of the third great stone, in the north of the entrance, deep in the bowels of Farnster, rests its fell guardian. The path twists and turns, but at a place where the Lord's faith is based, like a resting place, like a light in the dark. She goes, I was desperate to sell the place. I wanted to get out of here. And basically, Wilhelmus basically cries out, throws the stuff on the ground and starts running out. And Dorothea is begging her to listen. And at the same time goes, you're all in danger. It will know you've seen this stuff. We're all in danger. You must leave now. Yeah, it seems to be a ritualistic dagger and pentagram and robes. It all implies secret cult or some description.
Can we?
Do I know? Is it possible to corrupt the Grim?
And because I want her to confess her part in what she knows of this, if she's the one performing these rituals or if she knows who is.
Okay,
In fact,
so basically,
just to get
because you've played the card, you automatically calm her down. Dorothea tells you that you need to search the sawmill. That's where you'll find more answers about the godforsaken cult that I was forced into. Martyr must be avoided. I never wanted to join the cult, but my ancestors founded it, and I was born into it. I never wanted any part of it, and I needed to leave before Wilhelmina came of age and was inducted into the cult. But you must leave town now, for she knows, and the Grim will come for you all. Nothing can stop the Grim. There is no way to kill it.
There is always a way to kill one of these beasts.
Oh, I don't know. If you hear the sound of fleeing birds snapping branches, the loud steps new for you shall be its next victim. Pray then your fate will be swift, for staring into the infernal gaze to plunge the purest mind into madness.
I do love it when you come out with this scary quotes like that. Don't freak me out at all. What's your plan, individuals?
From what I'm reading here, this thing, can we track it down based on these clues? It's saying that its resting place is here. It's giving descriptions on how to find this.
Well, from my understanding earlier, we heard that it was buried underneath the church in order for it to become a Grim. Now, I don't know anything about this, but if we burn the church down...
Is there a
No,
crypt?
we need to burn the Stop.
No, I can't burn the church down. Those who threaten the place of God will suffer its wrath. This fell guardian of the church Grim, larger than a stag, stronger than the bear, and more agile than a lynx, that watches over God's acre, running faster than a horse, that hunts down anybody who endangers this place. This
Okay,
is the place
whatever.
where
Is
God's
there a
Lord's
crypt?
eyes are watching.
Is there a crypt under the church?
Not that you're aware of. I think I shared the map.
You got to remember, a Grim is formed by burying an animal under the church.
In the church walls.
What we have to do
in the church walls. It's not necessarily under.
Well, what we have to do is find that body and either move it or destroy it.
Well,
yeah.
Do we?
Yes.
Does it? Can the Grim be used to by let me just put it this way: can it be used by any religious organization, or does it have to be a Christian church?
All it has to know is that the church that it is protecting is being threatened. And if somebody were to say the church is being torn down and this guy's involved, that's enough.
No, I get that part, and I know that's how it all worked out. But what I'm asking is, do I know? I'm asking, do I know that is the Grim unnecessarily always on the side of the
basically the ritual, whatever the ritual binds the Grim to the location. Yes. So in theory, I suppose, obviously this is obviously some Scandinavian folklore creature, but I imagine if you happened to take the ritual and find and basically kill an animal and and bury the bones of the animal in a non-Christian temple, then logically speaking, because of the nature of the ritual, it would still protect that place as well. I think we can safely say.
Yeah, I mean, we should. She said go look in the sawmill, so she would check out the sawmill.
yeah, so it is not.
But if you want to know where the grave is, obviously the grave's on the directions are on the second scroll. East of the third great door, north is the entrance. Deep in the bills of for the rest of the Fell Garden.
Well, let's go check out the sawmill, and then we'll deal with the church. It may come to us. We may have a chance to go to it, but
Yeah, I'd say we definitely leave the church for last. That's going to be
okay. So you're
a
heading
nasty fight.
You're heading out to the sawmill.
Is
Actually,
it
yeah,
possible
I'm good.
for me
want
to
to turn
chase
to the
after
daughter.
Wilhelma?
I want to turn to the daughter and I want to ask her, does she know of 3 great stones that are fairly close here in town?
The daughter's run off. Don't forget, she ran out. She's run off out the house. Sorry.
She's buggered off.
And there's no way that we could have chased after her.
Well, I mean, she ran off at the start of the argument. So what I'm trying to say is, yeah, you could go find her. You don't know if she's left the house or where she's run off to, but you know what I mean. She did run off. She threw the stuff on the floor and ran off, and obviously you came over and examined it, as it were. It may be, I'm sure you can find her.
It's time to fight some cultists.
And she step outside, yeah.
Yeah, I think the general consensus is somebody was asking about who actually controls it. Do you have to be that church, or whatever, or do you have to have an item to control it? So we have to find that person, and that takes care of it. And if not, we have to go to find the
yes,
entrance.
logically, there must be some. Yeah, logically, someone does control the creature. Is your understanding of it? There must be.
Yeah, and that sounds like Marta, right? That's the impression we're getting right now.
Yeah, so there was a rivalry between Mrs. Kallstrom. I think there was a bit of one-upmanship going.
Yeah, it could be true, but it could also be that Dorothea wants to leave, and
she wants to leave,
and she doesn't want to be part of this cult.
Yeah.
Marta does not want to let her leave.
In the
if she
meantime,
was inducted into the cult before she knew any better, now she's trying to protect her daughter. It might be the conditions of the cult. You can't leave. They will kill.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, I think if you're in it, your whole family's in it, and she doesn't want that for her daughter.
Yep, I think that's correct. And probably we can't leave either. At least not without killing these cultists that are surrounding us.
What if we were to try to run inside the church and then the Grim would protect us?
No, the Grim's not there for us. Yeah.
But wouldn't the
would be
cultists
very
be
bad.
trying to destroy the church?
No, they would. No, I think they're. Yeah, the Grim is on their side. We don't want to go near the church right now. I don't think.
Yeah, I think the warnings of the warnings of the old scrolls are pretty clear on that. You don't touch the church.
Yeah.
I did think about that, whether not hiding in the church would be a good idea, but if they're controlling it, too big a gamble.
Anyway,
I put
you step outside and Rut got the Joker.
yeah.
Yes, I think in this case, I think it's a case of both. Punch him in the face and ask questions later.
Wow. I got the queen, and I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in line.
It's quite scary, really.
Wow.
What's Rut up to?
Joker, ace, and 2 kings. That's crazy.
Actually, have we heard Rut talking? Well, he's on the Joker. I could always put him on hold because he can interrupt at any time.
Sorry, no, I got briefly distracted. I am going to let's see. I think I'm just going to step forward here and punch number 4.
Be my guest.
I don't like being threatened.
Yep, go for it. Step forward and punch number 4.
And again, this is just to knock out, not to kill.
Okie dokie. That's a non-lethal knockout. Down goes number 4.
Do we recognize any of these people? Just seeing them about the village in our wanderings.
Well, if you want to, you can. If you want to pull one of the hoods back off there after you've put one of them down, you can certainly see if you recognise any of them. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wait to do that. Undressing them is.
Sorry, I was just tweaking stuff in the background. Okay, so that brings us to the 3-1 over here. Will come up. Oh, actually, no, he won't even come up. He will just fire his hand-drawn crossbow at Johan. Shoot him in the back. Ouch.
Oh. That's not very nice at all.
Oh, no. Oh dear. That's incapacitating injury there. I assume you're going to attempt to soak that.
Soak, baby, soak.
I'm gonna attempt to soak that. I don't really know. I don't exactly know how to handle this.
Right, the easiest way to do it. Well, there's multiple ways to do it. You can literally just tell me you're going to soak it, drop a Benny in the chat, make a vigor roll, and I'll manually do it. You can drag the Benny and drop it onto where the damage is showing on your character on the combat tracker against your name. And also, I think if you hold down the control key, you should see a soak button appear on your combat tracker. Those are all the different ways of doing it. I don't mind which way you go for. All you need is one success, and you won't be lying on the floor bleeding to death. That's all you need.
That's not a success.
That's not a success. You need a 4.
But I can use another Benny.
You can use this as long as you don't critically fail. You can spend all your bennies. But as soon as you critically fail, that's it. Okay, so that will cause you to end up with 3 wounds, but you'll still be standing. But if you want to, obviously, bearing in mind a critical fail means you're going down. So this is the balance. You want to try again to see if you can get better than to see if you can get an 8 or better, or do you want to play safe with the 5? It's up to you.
And if I go and it's 4, do I still get to take the 5?
Yes, you do, which doesn't make any difference. You need to get an 8 before you can soak 2 wounds, and you need to get a 12 to soak 3 wounds, and you need to get a 16 to soak all 4 wounds on your 6-sided dice. But don't forget, obviously,
try one more soak.
Yep, you got the 6.
Yeah, there's a 6.
Yep,
Yeah, there it is.
So that soaks 2. The only risk, of course, is if you snake eyes it, you were out. You were down and out. That's the only risk with. That's why I was not trying to force the hand too much. I do believe this is just yeah. So Dorothea can patch people up, but she has to use non-magical means, which takes 10 minutes. But she obviously can. She's. I know she can do something. I can't remember what it is. Obviously, she can use her medical knowledge and skills in other ways in combat to assist other people and do nasty things, as it were. But Victor can magical healing is instant, so there are ways to get you back up if you had gone down. Okay, that brings us to this. I'm going to shoot Dorothea with a crossbow bolt, and miss. But it wasn't a critical fail, and that brings us to Blender.
Yeah, I saw the crossbow bolt go flying past Dorothea, so I'm going to step over here to see where it came from.
Okay.
And get me a little bit of cover here. And I'm
sure.
going to take a shot on the one that shot at her.
That was number 5, that one there. Okay. You hear the crack of the crack of the rifle shot, and roll for damage. You shake 3-1 number 5 unless you want to Benny it.
Yeah, I'll Benny it one time. It's a hunting rifle. I should be able to put him down in a single shot.
Yeah, he might never get up again after that one.
That's what I said. Single shot.
Down he goes with a splat. That brings us to Victor.
See if that might scare a few of them off.
I'm going to try bolting the guy that just shot.
Okay.
So which one was that?
It's the one round the corner from you, so you will have to sort of extend around the building to hit 3-1. It's not 3-1-3 or 3-1-6 or 3-1-2. It was 3-1.
3-1-1?
3-1-1.
All right, how do I target him?
You can either control click on him, or you can drag the target onto him. That's spot on. Yeah, you got him targeted. Technically, you will just need to move just like that, so you can see around the. Oh, even better, you can just move over to there. I was thinking leaving you less exposed, but that's absolutely fine. Go for it. Cast your bolt. Don't forget, multi-actions are possible. That's a hit with a raise. As you summon a bolt of lightning from the very skies to strike at your foes. Even works
so
inside.
this should roll 3d6. It looks like it didn't. Or did it? Yeah, it did.
It did.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, a pair of smoking boots are left behind. Whether he's obviously blown out of them, and he may recover later, but we shall see.
Oh wait, it knocks him back.
Well, he's down and out. What I'm trying to,
Okay.
I was having a humorous.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's one of those rules. It's one of those rules we have that. Hang on, 3-1. Yeah. Okay, 3-1. Number 3. I'm afraid that's going to now basically come up, and he's going to use his ritualistic knife to stab you, Victor. Which he does. I'm afraid.
Ugh. That's just mean.
It is indeed. Fortunately, at the very last second, you realise it's coming, but it still shakes you fair. Oh, she doesn't need to be on the combat tracker.
I don't like it when people are mean. I find it very disturbing.
3-1 number 6 is going to shoot at Blender, because Blender just put one of his colleagues down, and a crossbow bolt misses Blender. Dorothea doesn't need to be on the combat tracker. That brings us to Ingvar, who's basically yelps in shock and horror, and basically doesn't want to be here, and therefore he starts running as fast as he can away. That gets us to Anders.
Back inside, Ingvar. Go back inside.
Yeah, you need to put Anders on the map.
I do apologise, Anders. There you go.
Yes, I think I'm just going to run over here, snap off the handle of my cane, pull out the sword, and run him through.
Okay. Like the way Rat's the only one dealing in non-lethal damage, the rest of you just putting them down. Oh,
you know,
yeah,
you missed.
He parries with his. He parries with the bolt, the stock of his crossbow. Actually, that's a good point. You don't miss, do you? If he's using
I'd still miss.
Actually, you don't, because if he's actually using a non-melee weapon, because he fired a crossbow, you actually do hit him on a 5.
Is he unarmed defender then?
Yeah. He technically counts as unarmed defender, because obviously.
Can I have a penny for that then?
I gave you it back.
All right, okay. All right, he's also your own damage.
Roll for damage.
It's only a little sword.
You shake him.
Shake him.
Okay, that brings us to 3-1 number 2, who will basically come running in with his dagger and attempt to stab Dorothea. Hitting. But not harming Dorothea, for she is made of sturdy stuff. And then we get Johan, who recovers from being shaken, even though he's taken 2 wounds. His combat reflexes and military training kicking in.
I'm going to use my saber and try to. I'm going to go straight for the kill for free one number 3.
Okie dokie. I should target him for you because I'm nice like that. Make your attack roll.
All right.
On the combat tab, it will.
Yeah.
You can use the fighting skill, but if you use the combat tab, it will factor in things like gang up bonus and everything else, which is nice there. Unfortunately, due to the injury from the crossbow bolt sticking in your back, you're not as agile as you would hope, and he parries the blow.
Because my wounds do that, and I was left with 2 wounds, even though I got 2 raises.
Yeah,
on
you
that.
took 4. You took 4 wounds, and you negated 2 of them.
So I got 2 of them. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so
you can tell because you got 2 bullet holes.
I got 1 last Benny left, but I'm not going to use it. Do I have to?
I'll tell you what. I'll be nice. Have a Benny.
Oh, thank you. I have the command. Do I have to say that I'm going to use that now to help?
No. It's just very much a case of it's sort of like an innate ability, as it were. Basically, anyone within your command radius, which is
Victor
your spirit,
would get +1.
Yeah. So basically,
he'll automatically get the +1 on his.
Basically, anyone that's your command radius. That's
cool. I did not know that. That's awesome.
That's your command radius because it's based on your spirit. So anyone within your command radius, obviously, because while you're fighting, you're obviously sort of warning other people and say pick yourself together, man. Don't worry, you might be down, but you're not out and stuff like that, and it will give them a +1 bonus on their spirit rolls. Yeah, it's just it's an automatic. It's like an innate ability. It's just sort of happens. So you're fine there. But if you want to re-roll that attack with that Benny or hold the Benny, I don't mind.
No, I'm okay. I'll hold on to the Benny.
Okay, that brings us to Dorothea.
Dorothea is just going to defend herself, so...
That's absolutely fine. I'm not sure where she got a protection.
I'm just trying to protect
myself. That's okie dokie.
And hope that somebody comes to my rescue, because I'm not exactly a close-in fighter.
Heavens to Betsy.
We're not having... Yep, that hits.
I had a feeling. I told him to go back inside the house. Why did you not listen? Vika. Is he down? Did he get nommed?
Oh, he very much got nommed. Literally, the Grim literally comes up to him and with a single swipe disembowels the priest, who collapses to the floor.
Well, that's a violation of the Grimm's orders, isn't it? So somebody's definitely controlling it. It's not supposed to harm the clergy of the building.
Okay.
Does it go back towards the church?
We'll see what... Well, he hasn't yet. Rut.
Okay. Well, I see one of our guys is down. I'm not that worried about the Grim. I think he's a little pussycat. So I will step over here and attack 1-3.
Okay, go for it. You hit him with a raise. That's a wound.
And again, it's subdual damage.
Subdual damage. Okay, you knock him out. Splat.
And then I'll look at the Grim and I'll go, we are not over there attacking your church. You go home.
Okay, I need you to make a fear check at -2, please, Rupp.
I can do that.
Because the Grim is bloody scary when you look at it like that. Even though you're trying to bap it on the nose with a newspaper. Oh, there we go. That explains your tone of voice. Johan.
All right, I am going to use my rifle. I don't have to like prepare that or anything, do I?
No, you can ready a weapon. You ready up to 2 weapons as a free actions in the new rules. So yeah, you just basically ready your rifle.
All right, I'm going to ready my rifle and I'm going to shoot at, I believe it's number 6.
Okay. First things first.
Shaken.
First things first. I'm afraid the Grim is a bloody scary thing, so you will need to make a spirit check with a -2 penalty on it.
Do I have to do anything about the -2?
I can do it in my head. Don't you worry.
All right.
Okay, you succeed. Oh no, you don't, because you got 2 wounds, don't you already? So I'm afraid you fail. You got a 2, because unfortunately your wounds were at -4, which is unfortunate.
Well, I guess I will use my Benny on that then.
I'm afraid that's not so good. I'm afraid you're prepared for, but you've seen you've seen quite a few things, but I'm afraid to say that this time it's a little too much for you, and I'm afraid, just basically go into full panic mode instead of trying to take aim. So if you look down to the left of the D20, down at the bottom left hand corner, there's a button that says run. If you can just click on that. Okay, you get to run 8 inches in a panic state directly away from the Grim, which will basically take you down the street that way.
All right.
And you are panicked. You're shaken from that as well. But the point is, you just took one look at it and decided you're not hanging around, I'm afraid. However, oh, look at that! It's just enough. You just enough to get the victory outside your command radius. That's unfortunate. Victor.
Am I still shaking?
You are most certainly still shaken.
Can I spend a Benny on that?
You can spend a Benny on that. Although if you want to be rather meta about it, you can make your fear check first, and if you fail that, then you'll be shaken by the fear check anyway. So it doesn't. It's up to you which way you do. Why don't you make a spirit check first at -2 to see if the sight of the Grim causes you to. Well, we'll see what happens.
Okay, but just as a reminder, I have guts.
Yes, which is fine. That negates. Okay, that negates it. So it's a straightforward spirit check for you. That also negates it, the modifier on the fright table, which means you can't basically suffer a mania or minor psychosis. Okay, so the sight of the Grim does not phase you at all. So you're okay on that score. So if you want to unshake, you can spend a Benny to automatically unshake. So you automatically unshake. It's just a bit of better game there, because you can't be shaken if you're shaken and then you failed your spirit check and got shaken again. It doesn't do anything, but then it means you didn't waste your Benny. So it's a bit of meta. Okay. Now what do you should do?
Now. Oh boy. It be. Do I think that this would be affected by sunlight spell?
Try an occult roll.
Sure. I just don't know. We've not seen it out in the daytime, have we?
You haven't. As far as you know, sunlight will not have any effect on it. It's not a vampire.
All right. Well,
It was a good idea.
here
though.
goes nothing.
I'll be nice.
Here goes nothing. I am trying to stun it.
Okay, well, that gets interesting.
Probably
So,
not enough.
right, a 6. Well, interesting thing about stun is they do actually have to make the same. I was thinking of a different spell earlier. Okay, so it has to make a vigor check. You didn't get the raise, so it's a straightforward vigor check to not be stunned.
Hang on, that's worth spending a penny on it, I do believe. Ah, poop. All right,
you can take
we'll
the 6,
stop there.
you can take the 6 though.
Yep.
Oh, you nearly pulled that off.
All right, and now I'm going as far as I can from that big old thing. Tell me when I get to 6.
It should tell you automatically. You should see a number 4.
I'll just go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that brings us. No, they're not worrying about anything yet. Although actually, Johan is in a position where, as he's running in a panic, he will be able to see them. Blender.
Do I see the grim? I've been focusing over here.
You've got its back to you at the moment.
But I hear the yelling.
Oh, you hear? Yeah. You hear the yelling, and you just saw Johan. You've never seen Johan like it. He's literally running as flat out as fast as he can.
And I'm going to turn around and go, oh hell, and you need a -2 spirit check.
I'm afraid so. Yeah, you only have to make one, fortunately, but.
I'll Benny that.
Okay. That you're fine. You're fine.
Right.
Do that.
And I'm going to go, oh hell, and I'm going to take a shot. I don't know if
Johan took off running, right? He needed healing.
Sorry?
Johan needed healing. Was one healing.
Yeah, Johan's bleeding quite profusely, yes.
That's not the right direction.
Oh, great.
I think it's time to be really evil.
No.
Roll for damage.
Oh no.
Oh!
It didn't scare me though.
Oh, friendly fire.
It didn't scare you, but you just shot Rut.
Ooh.
For 2 wounds. I'm afraid he was in the line of fire, so I decided it was critically appropriate to shoot an ally. You soak one of those wounds, though.
Yeah, I'll soak one.
Okay. Yeah, there's a crack of gunfire behind you, and suddenly you feel a pain as basically a lead ball nicks you.
Maybe my hands were shaking. I might not have been scared, but apparently my hands were shaking.
The Grim is going to basically growl and then retreat towards the church.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to yump the priest.
Anders.
Why?
Anders. Oh. Yeah, because I'll tell you after this. Stab this guy in the face. You know what? I'm going to go for a wild swing. Stab at him. Take that, you ruffian.
You hit him with a raise.
One face, one hole.
Ouch. Down he goes hard.
Okay.
And brings us to Dorothea.
Yeah. I'm going to continue to defend.
No problem at all. Okay. That brings us to 3-1 number 2. who again will attempt to stab you with the ritualistic knife, but your defense is very good and you basically block it. Okay, 3-1 number 8 becomes visible and is on hold. 3-1 number 9 isn't, I don't think, on the map. He shouldn't have been there anyway, so he can disappear. Number 1 is on hold. This one is, as long as it's not number 2, and I know it isn't because he was down the bottom, is on hold. And is on hold. That brings us to that next round. We'll see what happens here. So, Dorothea, you are first. You can always go on hold if you so wish. But obviously your defensive has ended unless you want to be more defensive.
Well, I've got to stay alive, so yeah, I'm not exactly
Okay.
attacks. So.
Don't forget, you can use any skills or anything you can think of to test opponents, don't forget, or support other allies. You don't just have to... Just for the record. There's nothing wrong with what you do right now because you're defending yourself against that guy, but don't forget, the idea of your character is you're quite clever and intelligent, and you can support people doing stuff, if that makes sense, as well as being medical and obviously being the scientist of the team, as it were. So the idea is with yourself is like you've got quite a lot of interesting skills that you can potentially put to use. Healing tells
Although standing there defending, you are giving a gang up bonus.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying otherwise. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Obviously, you got ambushed, and that's a different situation. But obviously, give you a good example. Yeah. Your knowledge of medical healing means you can give other people very good areas to hit people where it will be more significant. And I give them up to +2 bonus on their attacks and stuff. Things like that. That's, you know what I mean? Anything like that. Victor.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can indeed.
Okay, good. Let's see. So I'm going to whip out my cane and bop this guy on the head.
Okay. Assuming Johan gets control of his panic this round, you are in his area of effect. Right. Go for it.
All right, let's see how this does. Come on, baby. There we go. Papa needs a brand new pair of shoes. It's an 11.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's a hit with a raise. So roll that damage.
Oh,
that's a wound. Down he goes.
Good.
That brings us to Johan, who I'm afraid is going to remain shaken, which means you keep running.
Well, don't I get to do because I have as a skill, or I guess it's one of my edges, is combat reflexes.
Yes.
And I can have +2 when I attempt to recover from being shaken or something.
Yes, it did do it. It cancelled out the 2 wound penalty.
Oh, I didn't see the roll.
That's okay. No, it's a nice automatic roll. You can spend your last penny to automatically unshake if you want to.
Yes, that is what I'd like to do.
Okay, Justin.
Wait a second. Let me get up there. I can help you.
Well, the only problem is he's panicking, so if he doesn't unshake, he remains panicked and has all he can do is run full power towards the 4 waiting bad guys.
Yeah, but if somebody shouts, he could get a support roll.
Yeah.
Shout at him, call him back.
Yeah.
But,
so should I spend the Benny or no?
Sure, cool.
I didn't know if somebody was saying I didn't need to because they were going to do a support thing.
Well, yes, but normally the idea is we can bit slightly.
We don't have time.
Yeah, normally with a bit of metagaming, what you can do is you can go on hold, and then someone else can support you. But because you're still technically under the effect of the panic check, you know what I mean? It changes the rules slightly. So basically, by spending a Benny, you basically recover your wits and recover from the abject terror that overcame you when you saw that completely unnatural thing, and you basically stop running. You're still not feeling too good. You've got a crossbow bolt in your side, and you can see there does appear to be 4 more robed figures guarding the sawmill down the road, but they don't appear to be, although they can obviously hear what's going on up ahead, they don't appear to be acting hostile towards you yet. Although they are standing there with crossbows. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna shout to the others that there's 4 more, I guess, cultists. There's 4 more cultists down by the sawmill.
Sounds good to me. You can obviously
and
still
then
move
can
if you
I, even though I used my Benny to stop from being shaken, can I then hold my action for later, or do I have to use my actions now?
I don't see why not.
All right, then I'll hold my actions for later.
Okay, Rat, you get a +1 on this if we need it. Not that you did.
Okay. Well, it looks like the kitty cat did like he was supposed to and went away. So Rut is going to run. Not very far. 6, 7, 8, 9. So that he is kind of in front of / next to Johan.
Okay.
And as he goes past Belinda, he's going to say, I see. Johan wasn't there, so you decided to shoot me, huh?
Forgot Johan usually shoots you.
You every session. Hey.
I don't think the game's gone by yet where Rat hasn't been shot once by one of the party.
Or at least shot at, yes.
Yeah.
He's must have some kind of hindrance called bullet sponge or something.
Bullet magnet, yeah.
I'm going to step over this way because I heard him call about it, and I'm going to move up to here, and I'm just going to take a shot. Blenda has no patience for this crap.
Okay. Might talk him down, but that's fine. For the record, actually, don't forget there are 6. There are 6. The bodies you do recognise as some of the villages you've seen around town, and each of them is wearing interesting red robes. Don't forget. Some of them might be a little more bloodstained than others. Some of them might have bullet holes in them, like that one. Anders. Hello, Mr. Anders, sir. We lost Mr. Anders.
I'm just going to take myself off mute, and I'm going to run like hell.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
I will. Right. Yeah. So number 11, I'm going to say, are you going to be? So what are you going to do? Are you going to have a fight? Or are you going to do Shakespeare in the Park with that coat on?
He obviously doesn't get the reference.
He's never heard of Shakespeare.
Yeah. So 7.
You didn't target him, did you?
I didn't target him, but there you go.
So that means I have to do it all manually because you didn't target him. I'm going to say that's smarts. Okay, you want to distract him or make him vulnerable?
I will make him vulnerable to the incoming shot.
Okie dokie. Next round. That brings... Well, actually, they're going to probably come off hold because someone just shot them. So I will actually take them off hold and deal them in the standard matter. Oh, Johan, actually, you get to act before the new round starts.
Oh, I'm going to... Now that there's people around me, I was worried about being the first to confront them. I will attack with my rifle.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, I gotta go to combat tracker.
So hopefully you should see number 11 going, duh?
Yeah, number 11 looks a little confused at the moment.
What Shakespeare? It might be easy to show him.
So number 11 is probably the best one. All right, hold on. Let me try doing this. Okay, And then back to here. Sorry.
That's okay. Don't worry.
And here comes the rifle.
I will say you'll have to get line of sight, but that's by the way. That's a hit with a raise. Roll that damage.
All right. And the damage roll is... How do I roll the damage?
It should be on your combat tab. The other side. So you used on the right hand side is the damage, on the left hand side is the targeting, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. So double click the 2 dice that are there?
Yes, yeah, that's correct, yeah. Yep, so you basically shoot him and that's the end of him.
All right.
Down he goes.
And got him.
You certainly did. And then I'll deal you in for this. Oh, no, you're not on hold. I'll deal you in for this round because I've got to take your fold. That means number 7 is going to fire his crossbow at Anders and miss. On hold. Victor.
I'm gonna run.
Okay.
Where's my run button? There it is.
Just down the bottom left. That's a good run. 9 inches.
That's kind of. I want to make a Trent Reznor pun right now. Perhaps 9 inches. I nailed it. It's, I need to work on that a little. Anyway.
Looks good to me.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just doing the round to see if anyone got the joke, but no one did, which is a shame. But anyway, Dorothea's got lots of bennies. She can patch everyone out. Right. What's your plan after you run to there?
That's it.
Okay. Anders.
I'm not wasting any more points on these guys.
Don't forget
As
you
soon
can
as they get-
don't forget you can drop a Benny on your power points to get 5 back at any time. Up to your maximum.
Where's Johan?
You just ran past him.
Anders,
did I?
Yeah.
Actually, then can I stop there next to him and
Yeah, of course you can.
heal him?
You most certainly can. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to shout at the priest. I'm going to go, come on, why don't you wiggle your fills and do that kind of stuff you do there?
Oh, okay, nice.
Okay.
Okay, so
Happy to do it.
Okay, so 2d6 power points. That means that after casting healing, you get 11 power points back, Victor.
Yes, he gains 11 power points.
Well, you don't gain, you regain, so you can't go over your initial.
Yes,
You know what I mean.
he gets it back.
Okay, more important.
Wait, what's that?
Okay.
Okay.
You basically gain up to 11 power points, but obviously you can't go over 15, so you get all your power points back basically.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, because I go down to 4 and then plus 11.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. Thank you. Was that who did that?
That was Anders.
That was Anders?
He played an adventure card. In the meantime, Johan, you feel a cleansing warmth basically engulf your body, and all those aches and pains and that pesky crossbow bolt injury seem to fade away.
Well, that feels a lot better.
Anders.
Good God.
Mr. Anders, sir. He's playing. Lone Wolf plays the adventure card. What does Anders do? It's a really strange one. That Benny's and adventure cards are played by you, but but actions are performed by your characters. So it's an interesting economy. Sometimes. What are you doing? You stabbing him? I'll assume you're stabbing him. Yeah, missed.
No.
I'm going to risk it for a biscuit.
Never take the cinema.
I believe you're in control of a ferocious pretty cat. Take that, ruffian.
Okay, you stab him, roll the damage. Hopefully, the last one. You'll either put the last one down or he'll surrender because the time gods are against me. That brings us to Rut.
Well, there's only one left standing that I can see.
Indeed.
He is kind of far away. Oh, what the heck.
Yes, go running up there, Rut. So when I take a shot, you're in my line of fire. That's a good.
Oh, I fully expect that, yes.
No wonder you get shot every week.
Well, he only has melee capabilities, so Dorothea does have to tend to him sometimes and improve his punches. You've never seen his...
Yeah, that's it, I
I
guess.
think Dorothea's the only person who's ever seen Rut without his gloves on. Blender.
Yeah, but Blenda's gonna step over this way and see Rut going up there, going, oh, just duck.
Critical fail number 2. Here we go.
Quack.
That's a hit. I think your record was 3 critical fails in one session, wasn't it?
I think I had 4 in one session in the after.
In the after, yeah.
Yeah, there was the thing about sling. Can't fire a sling to,
Yeah. When every time you critically fail in the after, you had a permanent damaging effect added to your equipment. Right, okay, you've put them all down, so that's all very good. Which means obviously getting it. They were guarding the sawmill. So, okay, what's the plan? All is quiet, and combat is done for all intents and purposes.
Since they were obviously guarding the sawmill, we're going to find out what the hell they were guarding.
Okay, I should unlock the tokens. Obviously, from the map of the sawmill earlier, there is a lot to it.
Victor, I could use a little bit of your tappy tap stuff.
I mean,
You want my tappy tap stuff?
Obviously, you've got to, actually, technically speaking, you've got time to let Dorothea do it and let Victor save his power points if you want.
Oh,
Yeah.
True enough.
That's what I do.
Well, if we're doing that, then I'm going to cast something else too, right before we go in.
I wouldn't worry. Well, don't. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, sure. Sorry, I was thinking. Dorothea can heal up.
Not particularly comfortable leaving a bunch of injured people around, even if they are cultists either.
That's okay. So you can tend to the ones out here. We'll assume that. Well, hang on. There were 10 of them. 2 were knocked out. That means there's 8 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1,
If
2,
you put a
3,
bullet in them,
4. Okay. Of the remaining I've rolled 9 there. So of the remaining 8 that weren't knocked out by Rut, 3 of them will basically die due to their wounds. But the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you will be able to. Yeah, 5 of them. Dorothea, but if you stay out here, you can basically save their lives if you want to.
That's what I will do.
Okay. Well, you're outside while the others are in the sawmill.
All life is sacred.
That's absolutely fine. No problem at all. You will be able to save them all.
Can you help out our party member first?
Yeah, make a healing check.
Of
I
course.
respect your decision. Thank you.
Of course. But I'm not going to leave all these others out here to die.
No, I respect that.
Yeah. Can I just ask, out of character here, how much longer we intend to go?
20 minutes tops.
Okay, that's fine.
My intention was to finish at 6, but this you guys have been very good at the role playing, so 20 minutes tops. All you need to do is get to the sawmill, find the last bit of information, and then we'll have that.
Sure.
That should be it. So 1 healing roll, and in the sawmill, you just have to get into the office. So because there isn't much else there.
Well, since we killed all our buddies, well, Glenda tried. I don't think they're going to stand in our way if we just go striding in. She's still got her gun.
She certainly isn't. Okay, Dorothea heals up Rut, so Rut feels a lot better and then ministers to the cultists. During the night, you gain access to that room at the back, and this is where you find actually, yeah, you do actually. You find a green and elaborately ornamented robes. A large pentagram is painted on the wall with Liberum Fedoris carved into it. Carvings on the wall describe a sacrificial ritual to be performed at least once per generation. occult rolls will give you an idea that you can understand exactly what's going on there. Also, in addition to that, you also find, because I'm not making you roll for it, some 12th century, additional 12th century text, the last one, in fact, which is D. Yep. The carvings on the wall describe a sacrificial ritual to be performed at least once per generation. From your understanding of it, those that made it, which I can't see many of you, but I think Dorothea did actually, and Blender. It's a pagan. Although the ritual appears pagan in origin, it seems to have been interwoven with Christian elements. It would appear that once a generation, someone has to be sacrificed from the village to keep the forest and the surrounding lands regenerating and particularly fertile, which is why the trees around here grow better than anywhere else. You also find plans to indicate that the next ritual is due to happen tomorrow night, in fact. And it would appear that Marta has picked the name of the next victim, and that is Wilhelmina, I should say.
I thought that was going to be.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be the case. Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, it's time to have a chat with Martha, I do believe.
Indeed. Also, what you do find is obviously you meant to find. Well, I'm looking for the last thing you meant to find. That's the note. Oh, look! I forgot to show you the graphical version of the note earlier. Sorry.
Yeah. Somebody is spilling their coffee all over the place.
Yeah. At which point, you hear the church bell toll again.
Oh no.
Also, basically, according to what you find is information that the 3 stones are to be found. The 3 stones are actually I've got an image of it somewhere, I'm sure. Well, I know there is in the book, but I don't think they actually put it in the adventure. Basically, what you do find is some other information, just because it's easier than making you head to go back to the thing and find the safe. It would appear that what's happened is there is a cave underneath the church where all the rituals take place. There is one corner of the church that basically covers the entrance to the cave. Just east of the church, where the graveyard meets the forest, there are 3 large boulders. The third one's
the one on the right.
The third one.
Third one along.
Yeah, the third one to the north can be pressed apparently, but you don't need to worry about that. What you do, looking at the plans of what seems to be here, it looks like Hellstrom had some plans of a cave system or something. You're not sure where he got them from. You suspect Dorothea gave them to him, but when you sort of compare the two, you come to the conclusion that basically that corner of the church there seems to basically encompass both the church, the graveyard, and the cave below. Almost as if someone put buried bones of an animal there, a grim would be able to protect the church and the cave below.
So it's those bones we need to disinter and destroy.
Indeed. But for now, we are going to have the final showdown, because that would be fun. Philomene Scout, and I need Marta. No, Marta's already on the combat tracker. Have I got 2? I've got 2 Martas on the combat tracker now. I don't want 2 Martas on the combat tracker. I need her mother, Dorothea, for they have her mother has basically found the daughter, and they are coming down the road to find you when the church bell tolls, at which point Dorothea's finished healing everyone. And I need to take Marta and the Grim off hold. Off we go. Dorothea and will basically say, the bell has tolled again. I'm fairly certain Marta's sending the Grim after you. You need to leave as quick as you can. Johan, what do you do?
Let's see. I'm going to run to get ahead as far as I can up. So let me hit run.
15 minutes, this will be tight. We can do it. We can do it. Come on. Come on. Fast, furious fun, guys.
I'm trying to find the run button. I think I'm struggling for that. Oh, it's at the bottom of the regular.
Yeah, don't worry. I was about to. I think I can click it for you if you need me. But
I got it. Oh, that was great.
Let's give everyone bennies for the final fight as well. That's okay.
I'm not going to use it there, but
tokens are locked. Off you go. Sorry. Yep. Be my guest.
So 8.
Get you to there. No problem at all.
And then from here, I guess that's all I'm gonna do. I don't see it. There's nobody I can attack, right?
Not at the moment, no.
We don't see the Grim or anything.
No. Wilhelm is basically is coming down with her mother, with her bow drawn. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we get. 14. Okay. Everyone's seen this now, haven't they? So you don't have to worry about fear again. There's something very large coming towards you. Its big red eyes glowing in the dark. Yep. Blender.
Yeah, here we go again. Blenda's gonna step this way where she can get a shot. I don't know what it takes to kill this thing. She's gonna take her chances.
On me. You hit the Grim. You shake the Grim.
Shake the Grim.
'Rut.
And okay, well, Rut ran this way. I guess it's time for Rut to run the other way.
Yeah, in hindsight, actually, from a speed perspective, just give me a sec. There we go. Amazing how much difference that will make in combat rounds. Over to you, Rut.
Rut will run up to there and go defensive.
Okay, Rut goes defensive. Victor.
7. Yucky.
Victor, that's not bad. He's a rather.
What does that say?
7.
That's 7 to there?
Yes, it is. Yeah, sorry, it took a while to draw on my screen.
Okay. And as I run through, I'm going to say to Dorothea and Wilhelmina to get as far away from that thing as possible. I'm not sure she's sending it out to sacrifice us.
Okay, I'm just sorry. I just noticed when I moved everyone up, obviously their positions didn't necessarily make too much sense. So I'm just going to put I'm just going to move the Johan so he wasn't.
And then I'm going to announce loudly, "Get to Marta, everyone. I will handle the Grim." And then I'm going to cast Stun. It's at -2, right?
It will factor that in because you've run automatically, so that's okay. But it will be a -2, yes.
Whoops. So I need to select him first. Now roll, please.
Stun on the Grim. Okay, the Grim didn't get the raise. So I'm afraid the Grim is not stunned. And
oh yeah, I think it is. Wow, they was trying to be dramatic about it. Ah, crap! I'm trying to play an action.
Go for it. Sorry.
There we go. Yes, I think it is.
Oh, sorry. I apologise. Very good. You stunned the Grim. Sorry. I can't spell. All right. There we go. Yep. The Grim is suddenly stunned. It's distracted and prone. Anders.
Anders. All right, it's falling prone then to it. Bugger. I was going to actually shoot at his eye, but now it's probably going to be terribly difficult.
I will allow occult rolls from everyone at the end of the round, by the way. To let you know. Especially we've got 9 minutes, and well, I'd say we've got 9 minutes, but I think we're pretty much there. So hopefully, you miss Dorothea.
I'm going to roll an occult roll. The objective being to gain some advantage over it or understand something more
Please
about
do.
it.
Go for it. That might save everyone else having to do the roll, actually.
Might. We'll try that again.
Try that again.
I was going to say, if it's got an invulnerability, it's lost it.
That was so much better. One more time.
Okay, yeah, one more time. Go for it. Off.
Okay. All right. So I've never even heard of these things before. This is all I know about them.
Exactly.
They're big and black.
I will allow everyone else to make an occult roll, including Dorothea as well, because obviously I would have given you advantage on that roll, but
working for the Baroness was apparently quite an education.
Yeah. Okay, so Blender, Jess, and Victor, and Anders. I won't worry about the description. So basically, what you do recall about what you recall about the Grim, and from reading what you've said, the Grim cannot be harmed by is immune to almost all damage, and there is only one way to stop it.
Yes. That's why you got to get to Marta.
I was going to say, if it's got an invulnerability,
yeah.
If it's got an invulnerability, it doesn't, because you've played the card that takes it away.
No, the card.
It's only for that one action.
For that one action, regardless of invulnerability. So he played the card to allow him to stun the Grim, which gives you time to get to basically finish the adventure in 8 minutes to basically get to the door for the church.
So what is the one way we can kill it? He says.
You should have the notes. Someone already said, actually.
You've got to burn its body.
You got to burn its body.
Yeah.
You got to find the original body of the cat and burn the bones.
Well, in that case, we have to run round it, don't we?
Yes, that's why I stunned it.
That's why he stunned it. 11 inches.
So I'm going to run to there.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Lloyd.
Do you know what? I don't like cats. I don't like cats anyway. What I'll do is I will still have a go at it.
While you're having a go, I'm going to push on. Okay. You. Do you want to make it? No, you can make it distracted or vulnerable.
I'm going to make it distracted so it can't recover from being stunned.
Okay, Johan, what do you want to do, sir?
I'm going.
I'm going to be nice. I'm going to change the location of the bones.
And the bones are at that 2 location?
They are, yeah.
I'm going to run to there.
Right where he touched the wall?
Sure I have it.
Yeah. Yep.
Do I have to roll for that, though, right?
Well, technically, you do have to click the run button for the run, but yeah, you'll get there because obviously you've got a pace of 6. But you're absolutely fine. Yeah. So you get to there. Make a notice check.
All right.
I've got 6 minutes to finish this probably someone I'd finish it in time. So, okay. I'm afraid in your haste to get there, you don't know. Oh, mind you, actually, there's a few beddies there. Everyone's got quite a few beddies from the Jokers.
I will use the Benny there.
Be my guest. Go for it.
All right.
You're scanning the wall.
That's a critical fail, isn't it?
It's not a critical fail, unfortunately. You have to roll snake eyes. You know critical fail because the dice come up red. You start scanning the wall frantically, but you can't work out where the bones may be buried. Victor.
Let's see. I am going to let's try and make an occult roll to see if I can find another weakness in order to keep it stun locked for a little while longer. I don't know. I'm just trying to find a way of buying everybody. So.
That's okay. What you could do is, well, if what you can do, obviously the other option is that's fine. Other than the fact that you know how to pop it down, you're not sure of anything. You've got an idea of something that may give you an advantage if you need to affect it again. The best you can ever do to this thing is shake it. The only, you know what I mean. All you can ever do is shake the Grim. Unfortunately. Okay. Blender gets to. I'm going to keep clicking the tick for. Blender gets to there. Make a notice roll when you get there. It's a nice easy win, you see. You don't even have to fight the bad guy. If you fight. Okay, Blender basically with her very ridiculously.
Holy cow! She's still going. She's still going. Oh my goodness!
Blender, you notice a stone that seems to be slightly discoloured.
5 6s in a row.
Yeah, you notice a stone that's slightly discoloured from the rest, and you yank it aside, and basically you yank the stone out. It appears to be slightly hollowed out, and inside a now rotted cloth bag, you find a set of bones, cat bones. Dorothea.
I'm going to run over that direction as far as I can get. See if I can get there.
I'm not going to look at the real clock. I'm going to look at the 5-minute slow clock on my desk, and we can still finish on time. Go for it.
I'm not go very far.
You can get 7, but you can spend a penny if you want to re-roll your run. Not by the rules, but by the fact it's a con game. So if you want to spend a penny to re-roll the run, you can.
No, I'm not going to get there.
That's okay. Dorothea basically starts backing away because she has a horrible feeling the Grim's coming for her, and she beckons for her daughter to come back with her. The Grim recovers from being stunned. This could go.
I thought distracting would keep it down, but
it nearly did, but it is still shaken. So the Grim will spend one of its bennies to unshake, and I'm afraid will then advance towards Dorothea.
Yikes.
And because it's distracted, though, it fails to succeed.
So it hits the wall right over her head.
Yeah, she dives to the ground at the last second. Marta stands at the church doorway and opens fire at Anders, hitting with a revolver shot. Doing quite a lot of damage. 2 wounds. Which he fails to soak.
Hey, soak 1 wound.
You soak 1, fine. Rut.
Rut is going to step up to her and punch her in the face.
Okay. You hit her. Oh dear. You hit her very hard, in fact. She staggers with that. Helmer screams in horror at this thing and shoots at it. Knowing the fact she's meant to make a fear check. Well, she hits it with the bow. She does. Enough damage to shake it, and then she has to make a spirit check, which she fails miserably, and then runs in terror for this because she's an NPC, so she just runs into the woods. Even though she wants to save her mother, she can't. She just has to run away from the absolute terror of the creature. But she does get a joker, and she's on your side, so that I'm translating that to you all get jokers. Victor.
Let's see. I am going to cast Angelic Defender.
Okay.
I'm casting it on her and myself.
Okay, go for it.
I think well let me see. Can you give me my smarts are 8. So can you show me who else is in range? Well, it's everybody, isn't it?
It is if you want to make it everybody.
1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody except for Wilhelmina. So that's 6, 7. So I will spend the extra points,
Okay,
and I will also give everybody extra armor
go for it.
because
You can.
who knows who it's going to go after. I mean, I think we have a good idea. Oh, yeah, come on.
Ignore that, don't worry. That's the only problem
Yeah.
with the fast test extension. It sometimes decides you're targeting everyone else. So I'll worry about that later. In the meantime, you got a 14 on your faith. I tell you why, it's because you rolled it. No, it isn't because you rolled. Yeah, it's because you rolled it as faith rather than using the power skill. That's the only reason. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's not a problem. It's just it's a nature of one of the extensions I've got turned on. Okay, so you got the raise. That
Everybody gets +6 armor.
Yep, everyone should now have +6 armor.
Cool. I used a Benny to change my card, and it popped me up above him, just so that you know I don't want to interrupt.
That's absolutely fine. I'm just going to. So it's your go now then.
Great. I'm going to use. I have a
move it,
flask, and my guess is that it is filled with a very high concentration of alcohol.
It is
and
now.
I'd like to. I'd like to grab that bag from Belinda of Bones, soak it in this high concentration of alcohol, and light it with my match.
Sounds good to me. Go for it.
Is there a rule that I have
No,
to do
that's
that,
absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine, is what I meant is. Yeah, you do it. Okay, so basically, the second you set fire to the bones, the Grim literally catches fire. It yells in pain and anger and charges back into the church, knocking Marta further into the church. At which point, the church catches on fire, and the blaze is almost instantly goes up, especially as we're 2 minutes overdue. And within it being an old, it's a stone building, but the whole building goes up in flames, and the fierce heat burns you back, and unfortunately, both Marta and the Grim are consumed by the church fire. But you have solved the mystery of Hellstrom's disappearance. The aftermath of which, well, there's quite some interesting aftermaths actually, but you solved it all, so I wouldn't worry too much. Some of them are quite dark, but anyway, what then happens is basically, obviously, you head back. You basically making sure that Dorothea is okay. She promptly sells her land to August with no one to inherit Marta's holdings. Basically, once with no one to object to anything, with Marta gone, obviously, and Dorothea owning more land, that's the majority of it. So quickly over time, August buys up the whole town, acquires the sawmill, replaces it with steam equipment, and the forest. The lumber starts heading down the river. You are all thanked profusely and given a hearty reward from August. Dorothea and her daughter happily leave the village of Farnster forever. Most of the workers are actually quite happy with the increased pay that August gives them to win them over. But yeah, that's pretty much how it will end. Congratulations. Much better ending than you don't work out what's going on, and pretty much the whole village dies in a year's time. It's quite depressing when nature takes the whole village back. But congratulations. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm sorry the ending got a bit rushed, but I think I personally had a great laugh. I hope you did too.
It was fun. Yep. It was excellent. Thank you very much.
And Root, now you didn't even have to miss Johan shooting you this time.
Here you go.
So, as I say, we'll return to in a fortnight's time. We will find ourselves back here to see what else, what other interesting situations can befall our intrepid lead of Scandinavian adventurers. I think you're powerful enough to not give you an advance again, but we'll leave it there because I've run out of time. But thanks very much, guys. If you want to have any questions or anything, feel free to ask away. But the game's here, and if you need to leave, that's fine by me. But
no advance, you say?
Well, no. I think not this time.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I want to keep you all seasoned. because otherwise I think you're getting too powerful. But